This week on Now Here with Chris and Kell.
Chris is somewhat impatient. You know what? Him. That guy. We are leaving La Paz this morning, right?
Making coffee, making coffee. Making coffee, making coffee.
Got everything
Making
pretty
coffee,
much put away.
Making coffee.
I do see
Making
one
coffee,
kind of glaring problem.
Making coffee,
Aside from
making
Chris not
coffee.
shutting up. This has no lid and it's full of water, and we want to keep it because water is very precious.
Making coffee, yeah. Gonna drink it all down.
Are you done?
That's my Help Me Rhonda, but I've changed the lyrics to be appropriate to what we're doing here, which is making coffee.
Finish making the coffee. Shut your trap.
Coffee is made. Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Not so fast. First, we spend the next few minutes plotting and confirming our course to cross the Sea of Cortez all the way to Isla Isabel. This trip is a long one, 309 nautical miles or 59 hours to get there.
Fired up. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. Should have filmed that coming up. That is disgusting. And our chain is also pretty gnarly.
If water wasn't such a precious resource, I'd be spraying the hell out of it right now. But until we get our water maker up and running, this method will have to do. The longer you're in a spot, the more growth your boat will take on, especially in an anchorage like this one.
It's like a crime scene. And we're off.
Now heading out towards the channel.
Now we have both fishing lines out. The engine is still on, but our main is up. We've just made the turn, so we've got a little bit better sea state. So far, so good.
Since this was such a long passage, we took shifts, 3 hours on and 3 hours off. Chris went down for a nap while I enjoyed some good podcasts and the gentle rock of the pleasant sea state we were experiencing. So far, pretty uneventful, which was fine. Great actually, but boredom did set in pretty quickly. Until Chris woke up.
Hey, wait.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so Chris is up, and while he's manning the ship, I hang out on the back deck and work on my tan. At this point, we hadn't officially decided if we should go all the way to Isla Isabel or tuck into Los Muertos to break up the trip. The wind had picked up a little, enough for Chris to raise our head sail anyway. Then we killed the engine. Maybe we'd actually get some decent sailing on this passage.
Well, we're starting to stick our nose out into open ocean. This little blue represents kind of the last little dregs of influence from this island canal we just went through. And we're on our long tack. This is going to be the tack that takes us clear to the island. So, I mean, in my opinion, I say we keep going. This seems great. We're getting like 16 to 20 knots on the port aft quarter. So, relatively comfortable. What do you say, dude?
Yeah, I say we keep going.
So let's settle in. It's now 5:15.
Okay.
You're on first sleep shift at 8.
Second watch. First sleep shift.
So you'll go 8 to 11, I'll sleep 11 to 2, and then you're back up 2 to 5, and then I'll be up from 5 to 8, and then you're technically on watch from 8 to 11, but we'll probably both be hanging out. I hope so. Maybe. Yeah.
So here we are.
Okay.
Warm, isn't it?
It is warm.
We spent the next few hours enjoying the sun and sailing conditions that the sea gods had finally graced us with. We then heard the clank of the cans.
Fish on!
Bonito.
Damn it!
Bye, Bonito.
Chris cast out our hand lines again. For some reason, bonito were the only thing biting. The sun was just about to set for the evening. We only had a few more hours of daylight left. Meanwhile, Chris discovered that the salt spray was making it difficult to see, so he was washing all the windows to our pilot house. The sun sank lower and lower onto the horizon, and Chris whipped up a simple dinner of Brussels sprouts and bacon. It was looking to be a calm night for the two of us. We admired the last little glow above the water, and then Chris brought in the fishing lines so we could tuck in for the night. We got all ready for the night by turning on our running lights and performing one last lap around the deck. We also turned on our radar so we could see in the dark. Our first night at sea was kind of a shit show. The sea state became unexpectedly turbulent, stuff got knocked around, Chris made a big mess, and neither one of us slept much. After some idiot with a voodoo doll was done toying with us, the sun started to peek over the horizon and our conditions calmed down quite a bit. We finally reached the state of tolerable. It still wasn't comfortable, but at least it was consistent. I decided to embrace the motion of the ocean and try working out while underway. Phew, that was fun. I think it's time for Chris to get up now.
It's day 2 and we're just staying busy. I've shaved my face, trimmed it.
And I'm a brand new man.
The sea is starting to calm down, which is great because it was very rolly yesterday and all through the night, and it was not fun. Shit was flying. We broke our soda stream. What else? I spilled like an iced coffee everywhere that I made. Made beef jerky. Brought it back from the States. It's one of our last bags. Once that's gone, it's gonna be a real boomier, which is French for bummer. The wind forecast was supposed to be 11 to 14, and gusts was supposed to be 15 to 22. I haven't seen over 7 in like 3 hours, and when you factor it in, you can't just look at the true wind, you have to look at the apparent wind. That's really what kind of impacts your boat the most. Because you're being propelled forward, that's what the boat's wind feels like. So if you're going forward at 6 knots and the wind's behind you at 8 knots, on the boat it feels like a 2-knot breeze following you. Because of that, there's no point in even putting the sails up. They won't even hold air at this level of wind. If we had a big old asymmetric spinnaker or a drifter sail or something like that, that would help, but we don't. So we motor. I eat beef jerky.
And sometimes we catch fish.
That's a yellowfin.
We got our yellowfin.
Well, we don't yet, dude. Yeah, baby. Edible fish. Bring over wherever you.
What have we learned, Charlie Brown?
Well, now we know they're out there.
Yes, man. I should have used a gaff. I had him kind of like up against the boat and he got away.
One that got away. That's a real bummer.
It is. Next time, we need to be more prepared for when the fish gets here.
Yep.
Motherfucker, that was a delicious, like 2-3 meals right there. We have the gaff out or the net out or something, so we don't just sit here and drag him by the boat.
Well, we did not catch a fish, but we still had to eat.
Smells good up in here. What do you got?
This is my attempt at making you happy. Because on passages, just about any time I like to cook. I like to cook what I feel like cooking. But she made me cook ahead of time, so I'm reheating dinner. It's chicken and peppers with a little bit of that leftover chorizo sausage.
Nice. It smells really good.
It's supposed to be for sandwiches, but you can just eat it in a bowl if you want.
Okay. Are you gonna have a sandwich?
I am.
Alright, put that in your mouth.
I think I will. Now?
Yeah.
You know a sandwich is really good when it's so messy you have to eat it with a fork, accompanied by a roll of paper towels.
Yeah, pretty damn good.
I took my dinner down below, while Chris got set up for the evening, radar, nightlights, all that jazz. We went through our alternating night watch shifts, every 3 hours, switching off and on. Fortunately for us, nothing super exciting to report about that evening, and the sun rose on the horizon just like it was supposed to. Soon, I'd have to wake up Sleeping Beauty, and he's gonna want some breakfast. But I've been kind of a stickler this passage about meal prep, to avoid messes and dirty dishes, so Chris is limited to his pre-prepared dishes or things that come out of cans.
Oh, what is this? What is going on here?
It's day 3, officially now. We've been out at sea more than 48 hours. It's time for a hearty breakfast. Today's hearty breakfast comes from a can.
Oh. Well, I guess that plays right into my meal prep. Don't have to do dishes and stuff.
Look at that.
That
We're gonna have
is so...
some dog food. You basically just dog food it out. Just like that. You want to get all the grease.
I like how it holds its form.
Yeah. Make it into a nice, even pot. Then you hit that with some high heat to caramelize the bottom. Flip it over, do the same. Then throw on a couple of eggs and you got yourself quite a delicious meal, and you won't need sodium for at least a month.
So it looks just like the can.
Like a picture on the can?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, say it looks a lot better than when it came out of the can. That's for damn sure. Yeah, man. Breakfast of champions. Get in there, Kelly. Give it a shot.
Not bad.
Surprisingly delicious now for dog food. Yeah, that's the stuff, baby. So good. This is like a solid 16 on the comfort food scale. Not good for you at all.
Okay, so despite my reservations, this shit in a can is actually quite satisfying. Maybe the dolphins thought so too, because all of a sudden, guess who showed up? After the dolphins realized they wouldn't be getting a free breakfast, they ditched us. But we had acquired some new visitors.
Man, we've just had stowaway after stowaway on this boat. All those squid that, you know, they're supposed to stay in the ocean, so they didn't do so well. But these other stowaways, they seem to be doing just fine. Look at these characters.
Hosting stowaways of this nature meant we were getting closer to land.
Well, if you want to temporarily kick a bunch of birds off your spreaders, the easiest way to do it is to raise your mainsail. But then, the bastards just come right back. I would absolutely not care at all to have birds on my boat. That's completely fine with me, but this is not fine. Things like that. It's already hard enough to keep solar panels clean when you are conserving water. So the birdies are welcome, their feces is not. I don't think it's that hard for them just to fly off, take a shit out there, and then come back. That's fine. What? I mean, like, be a good guest. We're kind of cutting it close. We've been going so slow. I do the averages on 5.3 knots, which is our motoring speed. And early on when we were sailing, we weren't quite hitting that, and we went as long as possible because I want to sail. But when the wind finally died and we kicked the engine back on, then we had a bit of a current in the face, so we were going about 5 knots, 4.8 to 5 knots. Long story short, we got kind of behind schedule, and now if we don't hustle, we're going to get there in the dark. So we're motor sailing. We've got the main up. We're cruising along real nice, like between 6 and 7 knots right now. So had a pretty good clip, but even in this range, we're going to get there around 4 p.m. Anyway, 4 is great. But the sun goes down by about 6:30, and so we don't have a huge buffer. Still got our passengers, and yes, they are shitting on the deck. Boobies, fun fact, don't shit white. They shit black.
That's a fun fact.
It's a fun fact. It's all over our gas cans.
Well, how are we doing on the fishing front?
Nothing since I lost that gorgeous, or whatever the heck it was. Use your gaffs. I have it. I have it for a reason. I should have used it. God, that was so stupid of me. What a bonehead.
We're coming up on land. First time we've seen land since Sunday. It's been a while. Pretty excited to get there, and we both told ourselves that we earned some hot showers. So that'll be nice. Excited to be there. We are close. I can see it. There's the little fishing village, complete with hanga. I don't see any. This anchorage was known to be a little tight because there are piles of rocks at the bottom to contend with. so the anchoring spots were limited. We were lucky to have only one other boat in here with us.
We're here.
We're here. Let's clean up our mess. Well, I'm not in love with the spot we're anchored in, but I know we're not going to hit any rocks. This anchorage is...
It's deceiving. It's
Well,
smaller than I thought it would be.
It's not that it's small, it's that there's a lot of things you're supposed to watch out for. There are lots of rocks underneath things. Luckily, it's low tide right now, and we should be fine, and nowhere in our radius is rocks. So we're a little bit farther out than I want to be, but this is kind of a scary coast, so that's okay. Let's clean up our stuff
Okay.
and get settled in. Yeah.
All right.
We spent the next few minutes settling in and unpacking all the knockables that typically sit on top of our counters while at anchor. Chris usually takes care of the outside items like our jack lines, and I work on the inside, but there's also some overlap. This is one of the sleeping quarters we use while underway. I prefer this berth with the lee cloth because it keeps me from rolling around. As you can see, this also doubles as our settee, which is sailor speak for couch. That night we anticipated getting a solid night's sleep, simply because we were so drained from the passage. However, that was not the case. We rock and rolled all night here. The swell was strong and it wrapped around in a way we didn't expect. We knew we wouldn't last long here, so we would have to maximize the time we had. Since the wind wasn't about to change, we had to make a choice: suck it up and stay, or pick up anchor and head for the mainland. We gave it some serious thought, then decided to wipe away our tired eyes, suppress our yawns and cranky attitudes, and just get off this damn boat.
Okay, so we have consulted the manual, and we're gonna go on a hike. Which one are we gonna go on?
I think we should, like, go out and explore. It's not a very big island now. Like, I think you could pretty much see the whole thing, all the trails. But we gotta go to, this is the fish camp, so we can go across or around, up onto the point. We got lots of options.
Okay, we'll just make a day of it.
After pounding like 8 cups of coffee that morning, we were finally wired enough to do some exploring, with no real concrete plans or agenda.
Yeah, this anchorage, not loving it so far.
Sure, it could be great, but
Yeah.
it is not great today. It wasn't yesterday because of the rolliness. It's gorgeous. It's rugged.
Yeah, it's
Rugged anchorage.
a rustic, rugged anchorage
I don't know about rustic.
with some rocks.
Yes, there were a lot of big rocks, both in the water and out of the water. And the ones out of the water were completely covered in bird shit. So you should be lucky that smell-o-vision is not a thing yet, because this rugged part of Mexico is rank.
Damn,
What?
it's just so cool.
I don't see any boobies.
That's right, you came for the boobies.
I did. I came for the boobies and all I got is this lousy t-shirt.
Isla Isabel is a well-known bird sanctuary known specifically for boobies, and more specifically, the blue-footed boobies.
Birds aren't human predators. This would be scary.
Yeah, dude.
Like an Alfred Hitchcock.
We had made our way to the beach by the fish camp. Going by our guidebook, we did decide that this would be a good starting point.
We made it to the beach, and now we're just gonna anchor down Paul. Chris is looking for a nice spot to do so. And I guess we're moving the dinghy.
If you look closely, you can see the hard anchors that the fishing pangas use when they come in for the day, so we don't want to be blocking any of those.
We have moved the dinghy.
Now we just need to get our socks and shoes on for the first time in a couple days, so we can get a move on.
Are you ready? Over this way. Alright, this is a pretty clearly marked trailhead.
Oh, but what does it say?
It says, this is the park of Isla Isabel, and these are all the things you don't do, and these are all the things you can do.
First, we know hiking is allowed.
Don't disturb them. Don't pick flowers and plants. Don't smoke. Don't have a fire. No garbage.
No drinking.
No drinking alcohol.
Okay. Can we do those things?
I mean, I brought a 6-pack of beers and some rum, but whatever.
You brought a sixer, so you can't.
Yeah, I don't get drunk with some boobies.
Beer? We barely brought enough water for this. So don't get your panties in a bunch about this guy splitting a sixer with some boobies. He's all talk.
What great hiking day it is, Kelly.
Yeah, it's hot.
Some things are built for heat. We are not. The heat in Mexico is no joke, so we've had to adapt.
And they're just everywhere. Just surrounding us. It's nuts.
I was going pretty slow at first, trying to identify each bird, but that was proving to be an exercise in futility because Chris is in the lead.
Chris is somewhat impatient. You know what? Him. That guy. These balloon birds are so weird. Like, it looks like they have a problem.
Guess how many more we're gonna see if we continue to move forward.
You know, because of my excellent cinematography, this is going to be one of our best videos yet. It's a baby. This guy is clearly dead. How does that happen?
Yeah.
We've been hiking for all of 5 minutes. Chris is already over it.
We have not been hiking for 5 minutes. We've been hiking for 45 minutes and gone 5 feet because Kelly keeps stopping.
Yeah, I'm stopping to check things out. I'm stopping to smell the roses. It's my platitude for today.
I'll tell you what, nothing smells like a rose here.
No, that is a fact.
The buildings on site once served as an ecological research center and were active until 2017. There are still studies being performed on the island, but mostly set up as temporary camps.
Well, this gets a lot cooler.
Where do we go from here?
We go through the temple here. What's that game show for kids? Temple of Doom?
Something of the hidden temple.
Yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Right here. This is it. This is it.
Did you catch that?
That poor guy.
How did that lizard get bird shit on his head?
He wasn't moving fast enough.
Yeah, he obviously doesn't.
Oh, damn.
Impressive.
That is impressive. Did you do that?
Oh yeah.
Sexy. Okay, so is this a lime tree? They look like the little key limes, don't
Dude, those
they?
are absolutely limes, and they're fantastic as long as you like it to taste like bird. Then it's like the best.
Chris has quite a PMA.
Hey man, I'm gonna have a great time now that we're moving. Little skitter do's, Kelly.
Skitter do's and skitter don'ts.
Watch them skit. Screet.
It was really hard to stay focused out here. There is so much to see and so much to look out for, but we still had yet to see the elusive blue-footed booby, the island's most famous resident.
You know what sign they're missing here? They should have them every 15 feet. It says, "Don't look up."
There were many different types of frigate birds on the side of the island, and it was so awesome to see, and incredibly eerie. So far, we've made it from the fish camp through to the other side of the island along the beach. The landscape was really impressive, with tidal pools, wave action, and uniquely shaped rocks.
Epic. Do something, like strike a majestic pose. Yeah. There we go. Chin up. Oh, yes. Open your mouth. Stick out your tongue. Will you take a picture of me for my mom?
Sure.
Thanks.
After our photo shoot was over, we headed up one of the hills to some uncharted territory. At first it looked like a path, but then the markers stopped and so did we.
Somehow I got stuck with the backpack, the water bottle, and the camera. Chris is up ahead. How's it looking up there, boss?
Dude, I found blue-footed boobies.
You did? I'll be up shortly.
He was right, we finally found a pair. The blue-footed booby does exist. After our booby sighting, we headed back towards the fish camp, because there didn't appear to be a connecting trail from where we were to the crater.
Do you pay this man?
Well, we thought we knew where we were going, but something about this didn't feel right.
This isn't it, is it? This is a crater?
We decided this might be a cesspool that the plumbing from the fish camp was being fed into, but we weren't able to find that out firsthand, so we carefully tiptoed around looking for another trail marker.
This is weirdly soft. I don't trust it. It's like walking on the moon, man. It's like yielding. Shit monsters! Run!
8 hours later.
We can't seem to find a path up to the crater. You know, we might need to take a path as the crow flies, Kelly.
Or we could ask somebody for directions. Chris asked this fisherman for directions to the crater, and he kind of lit up and then became very adamant about getting us there. He started leading us back to where we had just come from, near the muddy pool, but then pointed out a trail entrance we had totally bypassed. It was at this point we realized that each trail was marked with a different colored ribbon. This one was blue. We had officially reached the crater thanks to our tour guide.
Gracias. Lifesaver.
Oh, man.
I didn't think he was going to take us this far. That was really nice.
Should we go for a swim, dude?
I don't
You
know.
want to taste it? See if it's salty?
If it didn't smell like it does, I might consider it. What do you think?
It reeks. It smells really bad and it's pretty ugly in person. It's pretty brown. I'm gonna say I'm glad we walked here and now we can just go ka-choo. We
Yeah.
did that. There's another path going that way, so we might as well walk and see where it goes.
So we kept walking.
And the fun doesn't stop here. We have another staircase.
And a ribbon, so that's a good sign.
Okay, I think this way leads to the point of the island. I don't know if there's anything that is actually that way other than a beach. And this way takes us back.
It does?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
No, and that's the beauty of it.
Which way do you want to go? Let's keep going.
Okay. We're going on the red trail. We've been on yellow and blue now. We're hitting red. Kelly and I were just discussing how we're very happy that we came ashore. Because out in the anchorage, it sucks.
I'm so glad I got off the boat. Gave me a whole new perspective on this place. I was actually hating it, trying to make myself love it because everybody talks about this place as being epic. And
It is
when you
epic.
Get off the boat, it is epic.
Yeah, get off the boat.
Awesome, just get off the boat.
If you're lucky and you come in and it's super calm and delightful in the anchorage, you're gonna see a lot of like great spots for snorkeling and stuff. Sadly, we're gonna miss out on that most likely. But what we did get is the boat, the actual island. It is cool. Oh, look, Kelly, a dead bird. They're just everywhere. You can't swing a dead bird without hitting a dead bird in this place. This guy is tired.
How does it happen?
I hear more boobies. Is she nesting, you think?
Maybe.
And then he's just chilling. He's like, I'm gonna do my sexy booby dance where they lift up their feet.
Really glad we decided to keep going. From here on out, it was boobies, boobies, and more boobies. There were two distinct calls that the boobies made, a whistling sound and a honking sound. We speculated that they were gender specific.
We're in like Boobieville. There's a guy on the path. We're trying to figure out whether the whistling and the honking are a masculine and feminine trait. I say that the men are honking boobies and the women are whistling boobies. Because the men seem like they should honk. The guys like to honk boobies.
Anyway, this is the other anchoring option. Apparently we should have anchored over on this side with all the other boats. This is also where the research center is currently stationed, and from the looks of it, seemed very active, although we didn't actually see anyone. There were different colored tags everywhere in this area, which we assumed marked the different species of birds and their breeding patterns. Eventually, we ran out of water, so we made the decision to head back to the boat.
This is a nice little cap off, Kelly. I think it's time we should head back. What do you say?
Yeah, let's head back.
We have to go past the stinky crater, through the jungle, up the stairs, through the stinky piss hole, cesspool, back through the well-appointed village to the beach, onto our dinghy, power it up, cruise on back, and tie off to the Driftmeister. That's what we're gonna do. But first, more boobies. That is a good looking pair of boobies.
We knew the next morning we'd be taking off for somewhere new.
This place stinks. Let's get out of here.
Keep watching for this week's blooper reel, sponsored by our patrons. Special shout out to David Owen for joining our crew.
Yeah, Kelly's been wearing the same shirt for like 14 days straight.
They call this shit rock.
Yeah.
Gadzooks.
God,
Yeah, I said it.
that's not even an expression.
Hi guys. This is a good Tom Hanks.
Thank you, that's what I was going for.
I don't know how we made it through that and didn't get shit on.
You guys look a lot prettier and graceful in the air. Not you though, fuzzy head. You're pretty ugly. We don't use our phones, we use sophisticated filming equipment.
No, that's what makes us cool.
Nope, it's not.